Okay guys, there's the kitty report. There's the baby cats. The baby cat having babies. So baby cat's doing real good. Seems to be fine. And all the kittens seem to be doing real good. Looks like we got a couple black ones and a gray one. Black one with some stripes on it. So I know Death Trap Hot Rods wants one, and I'm gonna be saving one of these for him for sure. And let me see if I can get you a better shot of them there. There they are. Of course they're small. They look like little rats. You gonna sit on them? There you go. So we got, looks like one or two all black ones. But, yeah, they're definitely little cats. Tiny cats. But, they seem healthy. Mommy seems happy. You seem happy? Yeah. So that's the kitten report. Back here in no man's land in Bermuda Triangle. So we're working on the beetle today a little bit in here, and back on this. Just got done doing a wipe on the inside. Got to make it right now. We'll get that all halfway decent in there, and once we get it in some primer, we'll do that spot weld video I've been promising for a while. Just haven't got to that point yet. Got the rocker stripped down a little more. Got those welds ground back there, down in there, so we can get that edge primed and seam sealed. And got the hood scuffed up under there, so we can. We're gonna go ahead and put some epoxy primer on that, I guess, and lock it down. And got a little bit of body work. Yeah, we had that Mamba room last night. That was really cool. We got sort of into discussion about epoxies and edge primers. And Hanson was talking about people that prime the whole thing with edge primer, you know. And you really don't want to put a lot of edge primer over Bondo. It's not the preferred method, depending on the Bondo that you're using. What I normally try to do is edge prime it, epoxy prime it, and then any of my affected areas that I'm going to do body work, I go and rough up with 80 grit and put my Bondo right over the epoxy. That just happened to be a big dent, so I went ahead and caught that one and did it a little backwards. But this whole thing's been a little backwards because of the way the job was, you know. But normally it'd be etch, epoxy, then the body work over the epoxy. Now for you guys that are using the cheaper Bondo, you're gonna have to go to bare steel. Only the more expensive Bondos are made to go over a painted surface or an epoxy primed surface. And we're gonna get the catalogs out and go over that, because I guess there's some confusion on the Bondo still. And we did a video on it, and I think some people thought that it was an opinion. And it wasn't really an opinion. We read right out of the book and the footnotes. So some Bondos are made for single stage paints, and some Bondos are made for base coat, clear coat paints. And you don't want to confuse the two Bondos. Most of the guys in the garage that are working at shops or doing the higher end restorations, you won't see them using the cheaper Bondo. There is one exception. Pete likes to use the cheaper Bondo, but he has a system. And if you're going to use Pete's method, then you really need to watch Pete completely. I've had a couple guys that have made mistakes. Pete doesn't ever, usually ever, I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but he tends to use the aircraft stripper when he strips a car. And what happens is the aircraft stripper will strip all the paint, all the primer off, but it won't strip the chromate off the factory chromate. And that's the finish that looks like steel. But if you ever tried to use a stud gun and you grind it down and the stud won't weld to it, you know, and you grind it a little more and then it sticks, that's the chromate finish. And the chromate is what Pete likes to not take off the car. And so in theory, you know, when he goes down with his epoxy primer, he's not going on bare steel. He's going over the chromate, you know. So you guys might look at it and think that it's bare steel and he's going right to the bare steel when really he's not. Another thing that we discussed is the mead time for the epoxy primer, you know, 30 minutes. You just got to mix it up, let it sit for 30 minutes and then spray it. The epoxy is a fairly thick product, you know, they like to let the hardener and the product melt together, I guess, you know. So there's an induction time, they call it. So I usually let it sit for 30 minutes in the cup and then go and put a little reducer in it, because you'll notice that it does get a little thick when it sits there for 30 minutes. So we'll cover some of that stuff. I need to answer some questions and comments on the videos. Got a little behind. We were in that Mamba room last night till 12:30, but really cool. There was 20 guys in there. Got to hear from Dave's Customs. He's always a good guy to listen to. And we got some of his opinions on the etch and the epoxy and the whole process. So if you guys didn't check that room out, you might want to go in there. It's really, it was pretty awesome. And I think that the room will get more interactive once guys, you know, get to know each other in there. And I want to thank Hanson again for setting that up, and Snow Crusher. And was it 123 WTB? I'm sorry I butchered your name there, buddy, but you know who you are. And those are the three guys that, you know, helped set that room up. And it's a real cool place. So hopefully we'll see some more guys in there. You know, next week's Mother's Day, I guess, on Sunday. And they were talking about not doing it, but I think we need to do it anyway. There's guys that aren't married, and you know, maybe guys that aren't doing something at that time of night, and we can keep it on a regular schedule that way. And but I really thought it was cool. So if you guys didn't check that out, you definitely want to check it out. You know, there was some guys missing that would be really nice to have in there. You know, we'd like to get Pisser in there, maybe Milo, you know, Wild Dog Northern Boy, get some Tommy Shoe in there. We were missing Matt, you know, and we had Turbo Cobra in there. We had Cecil was in there, 6711, 265 Chevy, of course, he was in there. Snow Crusher. There was a lot of guys in there. Finn Painter, and him and his son do some excellent work. And those guys are just real cool guys, and you owe it to yourself to get in there and meet them and talk to them one-on-one. I thought it was pretty cool. So we got the Hyundai looking pretty good. We detailed it yesterday. Got the inside, you know, cleaned up. We're still missing this door handle. And it's looking a lot better though. Still need some airbags in there, but we're not doing that. And we're gonna get on the bumper here in a little bit, get it scuffed and get it in there. I'm trying to get that stuff primed real quick. And a couple of you guys have asked about this blue. I did ask Andrea the cost on it, and she said a gallon runs right around 300, maybe a little bit over. So a gallon of MSB will make a gallon and a half of paint. So, you know, I don't know how much you need, or, you know, what you're spraying, but it's a pretty basic color, you know, and the pearl just really pops in it. You can see the sun's out today, and it's just it just stands up and, you know, looks really cool. So it is a cool color. I like the pearly heavy metallic colors. You know, it's like some of those Chrysler silvers. And you know, if you look at it down the side of the car, it's almost black. So pretty cool. It'll be cool to get rid of that. But anyway, I thought I'd give you guys a little update. Got some UPS boxes going out today there. Hambone, I want to apologize. I was just a little delayed on getting your stuff out, buddy. It is on the way to you now, and I ran into some issues, and just you know, one thing led to another, and you know, days went by, and I apologize for that, but it is on the way. And I got you some single stage. I sent you a quart of yellow and a quart of the white, and some hardener there and some reducer, and you should be set to go. And hopefully you can use that stuff. And again, I apologize for the delay on getting that out, you know. So and we got trouble. In trouble. They want to see the cats. What'd you get into? You got oil all over your face. So the motley crew, as Hans likes to do it, we got the good dog and the bad dog. Yeah, the evil eye, he calls it. Yeah. So anywho, that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and upload this and get back at you. We gave that car a bath yesterday, washed it off. It was a little dirty. So she's looking pretty today. And got a little issue right here with the clear coat on this, cracked. Had a run where everything ran into the corner here, and it seems to be giving it up. So we might have to do a little repair in there somehow. I don't know. And yeah, I'm going to be working on this one, trying to get it running, and take this deck lid off and do a paint video, and try to get that baby hooked up. Everything's new in there. We just we got to get her running. It's a little 1600 with some Cadrons, but yep. Need to do some welding on that exhaust and a piece of sheet metal back there. We're going to try to do some of that today. So that's where we're at, guys. And thanks for all the videos this weekend. And again, thanks for the Mamba thing. That was really cool. And let me go upload this, and when I get a little further along, we'll turn this back on.